Hi there students, welcome back to another video lesson. So for this particular video lesson, we will be discussing about the sum of the terms of finite and infinite geometric sequence. So magkaiba po kasi ang formula ng pagkuha ng sum ng mga terms ng finite tsaka infinite geometric sequence. So let's start. For our lesson objectives, determine the sum of the terms of a finite and infinite geometric sequence. So, ipapaliwanag ko mamaya sa inyo yung formula for finite geometric sequence tsaka infinite geometric sequence. So, una muna yung finite and then yung infinite. So, before we proceed to our main discussion, let's have a short activity. So, let's answer the following. What is the sum of the first 10 terms of 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus and so on? So, kung ililista natin yon, ganito ang itsura niya. So, 10 terms dapat ang ating mailista. So, kapag inad natin yan, ang makukuha nating sum dyan ay 20. So, pwede rin natin gawin as 2 times the number of terms, that is 10. Why 2? Kasi pare-pareho lang po kasi yung term ng given sequence, wherein yung common ratio ay 1. So, 2 times 10, that is also 20. So, what about number 2? What is the sum of the first 10 terms of? So, negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 2 plus and so on. So, ganun pa rin. So, negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 2. So, hanggang masulat natin yung 10 terms. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, kulang pa tayo ng dalawa. Okay. So, pwede rin natin siyang i-rewrite as negative 2 times 10. Kasi 10 terms. So, negative 2 times 10, that is negative 20. So, the sum of the first 10 terms of the given sequence is negative 20. So, if you were asked to identify the common ratio of this given sequence is 1. Positive 1. So, for our next given, what is the sum of the first 10 terms of 2 minus 2 plus 2 minus 2 plus and so on? So, ililista lang natin yung first 10 terms ng ating given sequence. So, by the way, ang common ratio po ng ating given sequence ay negative 1. So, 2 minus 2 plus 2 minus 2 plus 2 minus 2 plus 2 minus 2 plus 2 minus 2. Okay, yan na po yung first 10 terms ng ating sequence. And then, ang gagawin natin is, i-group natin sila by 2. So, ang mangyayari, so, first group po yun. And then, 2 minus 2, 2 minus 2, 2 minus 2, 2 minus 2. So, as you can see, naka-group na po sila. So, and then, 2 minus 2, that is 0. Plus, 2 minus 2, that is 0. 2 minus 2, that is 0. 2 minus 2, 0. And 2 minus 2 is 0. So, kung mapapansin nyo, nung pinair natin sila, gin-group natin sila by 2, nakakuha tayo ng difference na 0. Ibig sabihin, yung sum na hinahanap natin dito ay 0. For our last problem, what is the sum of the first 11 terms of 2 minus 2 plus 2 minus 2 plus up to the 11 terms? Okay, so kanina 10 terms, ngayon naman 11 terms. So, ganun pa rin naman, lilista natin yung mga 11 terms. Okay, and then, kapag sinulat na natin yung 11 terms ng sequence, so i-group natin kagaya ng ginawa natin kanina by 2. So, kapag gin-group natin yon, yung 5 pairs na nakasulat dyan, ang sum ay 0. And then, yung pang 11 terms, 11 term, mag-add tayo, so plus 2. So, ang sum ng given sequence natin na ito ay 2. So, ang technique lang dyan, kapag yung ina-add natin, yung bilang ng terms ay even, yung magiging sum ay 0. kapag naman odd, kagaya niyan, 11 terms, magiging non-zero siya. Okay, so kung 2 ang nauna dito, 2 ang magiging sum. Pag naman negative 2, tapos plus 2, so yung magiging sum nun is negative 2. So, depende alin ang nauunang integer or unang term. So, let's have finite geometric sequence. A finite geometric sequence is a geometric sequence whose terms are countable. So, we have there the word countable. Ibig sabihin ng countable, nabibilang. So, nabibilang natin yung mga terms ng given geometric sequence. Let's have the formula for the sum of the terms of finite geometric sequence. So, the formula is S sub n is equal to a sub 1 minus the product of a sub 1 and r raised to n all over 1 minus r, where r should not be equal to 1. So, kapag po kasi yung common ratio natin ay nag-equal to 1, yung denominator po natin ay magiging 0. Okay, and then kapag dinivide natin yung term o yung number na nasa numerator sa 0, magiging undefined. So, wala po tayong makukuhang sagot. And then, yung mga variable na nakikita nyo dyan, ganun pa rin naman po. So, wala naman pong pinagbago. The first problem. Find the sum of the first 6 terms of the geometric sequence 2, 6, 18, and so on. Okay. So, let's identify the given. So, S sub n, so, kukunin natin dito is yung sum ng first 6 terms. And then, a sub 1, the first term is 2. N is 6. Kasi nga, 6 terms ang kinukuha natin na sum. And then, our common ratio, so, ma-identify natin yung common ratio since given naman yung mga first 3 terms ng geometric sequence. So, 6 divided by 2, that is 3. Therefore, our common ratio is 3. And then, we apply the formula S sub n is equal to a sub 1 minus the product of a sub 1 and r raised to n all over 1 minus r. Next, S sub 6 is equal to the first term, that is 2, minus a sub 1, the first term, that is 2, times the common ratio is 3 raised to 6. Okay, all over 1 minus 3. And then 2 minus the product of 2 and 3 raised to 6. So, yung 3 raised to 6, ang sagot po dito is 729. And then, all over 1 minus 3. Then, rewrite lang natin. So, ang product ng 2 tsaka 729 ay 1,458. And then, 1 minus 3, that is negative 2. So, kapag sinubtract natin yung 2 tsaka yung 1,458, ang sagot is negative 1,456. All over negative 2. So, S sub 6 is equal to, so negative 1,456 divided by negative 2, that is 728. So, yung sum po ng first 6 terms ng ating sequence ay 728. So, para i-check, pwede nating ilista yung mga tatlong terms pagkatapos ng 18. So, mag-multiply lang tayo ng 3 sa 18, that is 54, another 3, 162, and then 486. Kapag in-add po natin ng 2, 6, 18, 54, 162, tsaka 486, ang makukuha po nating sum dyan ay 728. Next problem. Solve for the sum of the first 7 terms of the geometric sequence 4096, 1024, 256, up to the 7 terms. So, kapag nilista natin to, alam naman natin yung common ratio, pwede natin silang i-add manually. Pero, kapag kasi maraming terms na yung hinahanap niya na given, halimbawa 100 terms na, so, masyadong mahirap yon. Like, for example, kung pababa yung ating mga terms. So, dito, pababa yung mga terms natin. So, isa lang masasabi ko dyan, yung common ratio natin is fraction. So, let's identify the given. So, S sub n is the unknown. A sub 1, that is 4096. N is 7. Then, R, that is 1024 over 4096. Para makuha natin yung common ratio, that is 1/4 kasi ang GCF ng 1024 and 4096 ay 1024. Then we apply the formula. So that is S sub 7 is equal to A sub 1, that is 4096, minus 4096 times the common ratio 1/4 raised to n, that is 7, and then all over 1 minus 1/4. So S sub 7 is equal to 4096 minus 4096 times, so yung 1/4 i-raise natin to the 7th power. So that is 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4. So kapag inano natin yon, i-multiply natin yon ng 7 beses, ang makukuha nating sagot ay 16,384. So magiging 1 over 16,384 all over, so 1 minus 1/4, that is 3/4. Okay, and then we rewrite. So 4096 minus, so yung common factor ng 4096 tsaka 16,384 is yung 4096. So kung pwede natin i-cancel yung 4096, matitira 1. Yung 16,384 magiging 4. So magiging 4096 minus 1/4 all over 3/4. Now, so 4096 minus 1/4 magiging ganito siya. So yung LCD ay 4. And then ang denominator ng 4096 ay 1. So 4 divided by 1, that is 4 times 4096 magiging 16,384 minus 4 divided by 4, that is 1 times 1, 1 pa rin. And then, pwede na natin siyang i-multiply sa reciprocal ng 3/4 kasi 'di ba division siya. Kukunin natin yung reciprocal, that is 4 over 3. Okay, huwag kalimutan kunin yung reciprocal. So kapag division of fractions na. So 3/4 magiging 4 over 3, and then proceed tayo sa multiplication. And then S sub 7 is equal to, so 16,384 minus 1, that is 16,383. And then yung 4 tsaka yung 4 makakancel. So divide lang natin yung 16,383 sa 3. So S sub 7 is equal to 16,383 divided by 3. That is 5,461. So yan po yung sum ng ating 7 terms. First 7 terms ng ating given sequence. Next, for example number 3 naman, what is the sum of the first 9 terms of the geometric sequence 6, negative 12, 24 up to the 9 terms? So let's identify the given. So S sub n is the unknown. A sub 1 is 6. N is 9. And then the common ratio. So dividing the second term by the first term, negative 12 divided by 6, that is negative 2. So the common ratio is negative 2. And then we apply the formula. That is S sub 9 equals A sub 1, the first term, that is 6, minus the product of first term and then the common ratio raised to n, so that is negative 2 raised to 9, all over 1 minus negative 2. So S sub n is equal to 6 minus 6 times, so yung negative 2 raised natin sa 9, ang makukuha nating sagot doon is negative 512. All over 1 minus negative 2 magiging 1 plus 2. Okay, kasi change natin yung subtrahend and then we proceed to addition. So S sub 9 is equal to 6 minus 6 times negative 512. So magiging minus negative 3072. And then all over 1 plus 2, that is 3. Then S sub 9 is equal to 6 plus 3072 all over 3. And then we add 6 plus 3072, that is 3078. And then we divide it by 3. So our final answer will be 1026. So, ayan, as you can see, yung mga terms ng ating given sequence ay alternate. So, pwede nyo namang i-manual check yan. Lista nyo yung mga terms. Makukuha nyo namang sum dyan is 1026. So, for our next problem, solve for the sum of the first 7 terms of the geometric sequence, negative 1, 5, negative 25, and so on. So, let's identify the given. So, S sub n is the unknown. A sub 1, the first term, that is negative 1. N is 7. Then to get the common ratio, we divide 5, the second term, by the first term, negative 1. So 5 divided by negative 1, that is negative 5. And then we apply the formula. And then S sub 7 is equal to, so A sub 1, that is negative 1, minus the product of the first term, and then R raised to n, that is negative 5, raised to n, that is 7, all over 1 minus negative 5. Okay. Then S sub 7 is equal to negative 1 minus negative 1 raised to, so if we raise negative 5 to the 7th power, that is 7 beses natin i-multiply yung 5 sa sarili niya. So that is negative 78,125 all over 1 minus negative 5 magiging 1 plus 5. And then i-rewrite lang natin S sub 7 is equal to negative 1 minus, so the product of negative 1 and negative 78,125, that is 78,125. And then all over 6, 1 plus 5. So S sub 7 is equal to negative 1 minus 78,125, that is negative 78,126. And then divided by 6. So S sub 7 is equal to negative 78,126 divided by 6. So our final answer will be 13,021. Okay. So negative 13,021. So kasi, kaya negative, mapapansin nyo yung mga terms ng ating given sequence ay positive, ay negative, tas positive, and then negative na naman. So for our next problem, for our last problem for finite geometric sequence, so multiple solutions muna dito yung gagawin natin. So let's have the problem. Find the sum of the terms of a geometric sequence where the first term is 5, the last term is 640, and the common ratio is 2. So let's identify the given. So S sub n, yun ang nawawala. And then A sub n, that is the last term, which is 640. A sub 1, that is the first term, 5. And yung n natin dito is nawawala, na kailangan muna nating hanapin para makuha natin yung S sub n. So, then yung common ratio din natin is given, which is 2. So, if we apply the formula for the nth term of geometric sequence, so A sub n, that is 640, equals A sub 1, that is 5, And then our common ratio is 2 raised to n minus 1. And then we divide the whole equation by 5. And then that is 640 divided by 5. That is 128 is equal to 2 raised to n minus 1. And then, para maibaba natin yung mga exponent, yung 128, i-express natin siya sa base na 2. Okay, para maging linear equation yon. So, kapag ang 128, in-express natin siya sa exponential form niya, magiging 2 raised to 7 is equal to 2 raised to n minus 1. As you can see, ayan, pareho ng base 2. So, pwede nating ibaba yung mga exponent at magiging equation. So, that is n minus 1 equals 7. And then, we rewrite. So, n minus 1 is equal to 7. And then, we add 1 to both sides. So, n is equal to 7 plus 1. So, n equals 8. So, yung number of terms natin ngayon is 8. So, pwede na natin kunin ngayon yung sum ng mga terms ng given geometric sequence. So, apply natin yon. So, since nakuha na natin yung number of terms which is 8, so pwede na natin kunin yung sum ng mga terms ng given geometric sequence. So, let's apply the formula. So, that is S sub 8. And then, first term, that is 5 minus the product of first term and r raised to n. So, the common ratio is 2. And then, n is 8. All over 1 minus the common ratio, 2. So, S sub 8 is equal to 5 minus the product of 5 and 2 raised to 8. So, 2 raised to 8, that is 256. And then 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So, and then i-rewrite natin, S sub 8 is equal to 5 minus, so the product of 5 and 256 is 1,280 all over negative 1. And then S sub 8 is equal to, so 5 minus 1,280 is negative 1,275. And then if we divide it by negative 1, so our final answer will be 1,275. It's because negative divided by negative, that is positive. This means that the sum of the 8 terms of the given geometric sequence is 1,275. So let's now move on to infinite geometric sequence. So an infinite geometric sequence is a geometric sequence whose terms are uncountable. So uncountable, ibig sabihin, hindi nabibilang. So unlike dun sa finite geometric sequence, nabibilang natin yung mga terms ng geometric sequence. So the formula for the sum of the terms of infinite geometric sequence is S sub n is equal to a sub 1 all over 1 minus r. And then, meron siyang condition dito wherein r is less than 1 but greater than negative 1. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga values or numbers sa pagitan ng negative 1 tsaka 1, yun lang ang pwedeng maging common ratio. So, 1 cannot be common ratio of the given sequence as well as negative 1. And then, yung mga numbers less than negative 1 tsaka greater than 1, hindi rin po pwedeng maging common ratio. In short, ang mga possible common ratio lang po dito ay yung mga fractions. So, negative fractions and positive fractions. So, where S sub n is the sum of the terms of the sequence. So, sum to infinity po ang tawag natin pag infinite geometric sequence. And then, a sub 1 is the first term of the sequence. R is the common ratio. So, let's have the first example. Find the sum to infinity of the geometric sequence 32, 16, 8, 4 if there exists. So the given are S sub n, the unknown, a sub 1, that is 32, the first term, and then r, so we divide the second term by the first term. So 16 over 32, so can be simplified as 1/2. It's because the greatest common factor of 16 and 32 is 16. And then we apply the formula. So a sub 1 all over 1 minus r. And then a sub 1 is 32 over 1 minus r. So r is 1 half. And then 32 over 1 minus 1 half. So the LCD is 2. So what is the denominator of 1? That is 1. So if we divide 2 by the denominator 1, the quotient is 2. And then multiply it by 1, the numerator, the answer is 2. Next, 2 divided by 2, that is 1, times negative 1, that is negative 1. Next, write as 32 all over, so 2 minus 1, that is 1, and then over 2. Next, so 32 over 1 times, so since i-divide natin yung 32 sa 1 half, yung 1 half, kukunin natin yung reciprocal, which is 2 over 1 or 2. So, and then we multiply 32 times 2, that is 64. All over 1, that is 64. Ibig sabihin, yung sum to infinity ng ating given sequence is 64. At nag-e-exist siya. For example, number 2 naman, find the sum to infinity of the geometric sequence 2, 10, 50 if there exists. So, our given, S sub n is the unknown, a sub 1, the first term, that is 2, and then our common ratio is 5. Okay, so applying the formula, so a sub 1, that is 2, and then 1 minus r, the common ratio is 5, 2 over, so 1 minus 5, that is negative 4. So if we simplify 2 over negative 4, that is negative 1 half. So kung papansinin natin yung mga terms, 2, 10, 50, puro mga positive. So hindi po magkakaroon ng sum na negative 1 half. Na ang mangyayari doon, titignan natin yung common ratio. So yung common ratio natin ay 5. So based dun sa condition ng common ratio sa infinite geometric sequence, yung sum ng infinite geometric sequence, r is less than 1 but greater than negative 1. Eh, yung 5 kasi greater than 1. So, therefore, this particular problem has no answer. So, hindi natin makukuha yung sagot. It's because the common ratio is greater than 1. So, dapat pasok lang siya sa negative 1 to 1. Okay? So, for our next problem, find the sum to infinity of the geometric sequence 10, 2, 2 fifth, 2 over 25 if there exists. So, our given, S sub n is the unknown. And then our first term, that is 10. And then our common ratio, so we divide the second term, 2, by the first term, 10. So 2 over 10, and then we can simplify it as 1 over 5 or 1 fifth, since the greatest common factor is 2. Now, we apply the formula. So the first term is 10. Next, 1 minus r, the common ratio, that is 1 fifth. And then, 10 over, so the LCD is 5. So, and then the denominator of 1 is 1. So, 5 divided by 1, that is 5, times 1, 5. Next, 5 divided by 5, that is 1, times negative 1, negative 1. So, and then 10 all over, so 5 minus 1, that is 4, over 5. And then, if we divide 10 by 4 fifth, so magiging ganito siya. So, sulat natin dito, 10 over 1 times the reciprocal of 4 fifth, that is 5 over 4. And then, we cancel 10 and 4 because may common factor sila, which is 2. So, yung greatest common factor nila is 2. So, 4 divided by 2, that is 2. 10 divided by 2, that is 5. And then, multiplying yung mga remaining. So, 5 times 5, that is 25. And then, 1 times 2, that is 2. So, S sub n is equal to 25 over 2 or 12 and 1 half. Or pwede rin naman 12.5. So, ito po yung ating sagot. So, nag-i-exist po yung sum to infinity ng ating given sequence. So, for our last example, find the sum to infinity of the geometric sequence 9, -3, 1, and so on if there exists. So, based dito sa mga given terms, alternate yung sign. So, positive and then negative, positive. Ang kasunod ng 1 is a negative. So, let's identify the given. S sub n is the unknown. The first term is 9. And then, our common ratio. So, if we divide -3 by 9, so we can simplify it as -1/3. And then, we apply the formula. So, a sub 1, that is 9, all over 1 minus, the common ratio is -1/3. Next, 9 over 1 plus 1/3. So, and then, the LCD is 3. So, 3 divided by 1, the denominator of 1, that is 3, times 1, the numerator, 3. Plus, 3 divided by 3, that is 1, times 1, that is 1. Next, 9 over, so, 3 plus 1, that is 4, over 3. And then, magiging 9 all over 1 times the reciprocal of 4 over 3, that is 3/4. And then, 9 times 3, that is 27 over 4. So, 27 over 4, we can simplify it as 6 and 3/4. Okay. So, the sum to infinity of the given sequence is 27 over 4 or 6 and 3/4. So, after nating mai-discuss ang mga topics ng arithmetic sequence tsaka geometric sequence, our last topic for sequences will be solving word problems. So, i-apply din natin dito yung lahat ng natutunan ninyo sa mga lessons on arithmetic sequence and geometric sequence. So, yun lang. Maraming salamat.